Alright, casual video here today, mostly because I just kind of want to test out green screen, see how I feel about using it. But, I started a manga because I was looking for, like, a substitute for Spy Family in the almost slice of life, but underlining tones with action to it. So action and comedy, but mixed with slice of life. And I picked up Sakamoto Days because I had heard absolutely fantastic things about this series. It was pitched to me more or less as John Wick owns a convenience store. And I definitely see that vibe just from, you have Mr. Sakamoto, who was like the best assassin that there was, but he fell in love, got married, had a kid, opened a convenience store, and started to get fat. So now he's kind of out of the game. He just wants to live a happy, normal life. But he's gotten dragged back in, no animal murder at all. The dogs, there are no dogs in this, which is disappointing. But he is still very much a very competent assassin, but his family rules say no killing, so we leave that part out of the job. And quite honestly, I kind of wanted to drop it after 3 chapters. The humor just was not landing for me. The tone of this series is, like, it wants to be very serious, cool action, but then it's almost slapstick comedy, and the tone is not vibing. They're not meshing well for me. Humor's not landing, and then when the action happens, I'm like, yeah, that was pretty cool, though, so I guess I'll keep reading. I am 13 chapters into this. This is only first impressions right now. I will give it a little bit further just to see how I feel going forward. I've only finished the introduction arc and amusement park. There we go. But the first, like, real arc with plot-related stuff going on is about to happen, so I gotta at least give it another couple chapters or arcs to figure out how I feel about the series. When I say the vibes are not lining up for what I really want, it's the tone of the series, because you have Mr. Sakamoto, and most of it is he's just like this guy. He got his glasses on, but they're always very shiny, so you can't see his eyes most of the time, which means there's a lack of expression. He isn't always drawn with a mouth. He doesn't talk very often, so there's not a lot of personality to him yet. And then you have his, who works with him at the convenience store here, who is also a former assassin and originally had went there to kill him, because once you leave the life, you can't just go live a normal life. But he can randomly read minds, so I'm fine with that. But they mostly communicate with Mr. Sakamoto just thinking, and then him responding to what he's thinking. And it means that there's a lack of dynamic for me. I'm not feeling any over connection between the two. It's very one-sided to me. I'm not invested in any of the relationships so far. I have the wife and child are barely a part of the story. We have another character who was introduced that was from a prominent crime family, and they're all just running this convenience store. But again, the tone is not landing for me. Positive elements is obviously the art style. It's absolutely gorgeous. The way movement is shown is flawless. The dynamic changes in art style from cartoonish to very high detail to simplistic. No, love the art of this for sure. And I like the premise. I like the idea of assassin owning convenience store out of life and then just trying to run the store while people keep trying to murder him. Like, it's an interesting premise, but the characters, I feel if I want it to lean more towards slice of life-ish, the characters should be the focus. And it's a little more action comedy, but the action and comedy are not meshing well together for me, and therefore we're also lacking a heart to the series in the characters. But this is, again, only first impressions. I am 13 chapters in. We will see how I feel after this next arc. The chapters are feeling pretty episodic. It's kind of just Mr. Sakamoto doing something for the convenience store, runs into trouble or gets dragged into trouble, has to help somebody out, hide his identity if he can, and rinse and repeat, while who could probably be considered the main character, Sheen, the telepath or clairvoyant or whatever, telepath, reads his mind, thinks how cool Mr. Sakamoto is, and his personality is also not that established. He's kind of just the everyday man, while Mr. Sakamoto is the mild-tempered gentleman that if he decides to take you out, there's nothing you can do to stop him. I'm just waiting for a little bit of a stronger personality for both of them. All right, so it's the end of the day, and I have read up to chapter 31, and I can officially say that I'm going to most likely be dropping this series. It's not quite what I'm looking for. I was looking for something with the vibes of slice of life plus action, like Spy Family or Buddy Daddies or Mr. Villain's Day Off. But I'm not liking the vibes of Sakamoto Days. My issue mainly being that he is this overpowered character that's mostly there to look cool. He's almost a one note in the terms of, I will protect my family, just let me live a simple life. And if that had been really developed a bit more, maybe I would enjoy it more. I have not read or watched One Punch Man yet, but I've got the vibe of that being an overpowered character, but it's meant to be like almost satirical look at shonen characters and playing into those themes. This is not really playing into any of the themes of like the shonen overpowered character. It's just kind of playing it straight, which takes away a lot of agency, because I don't feel these characters are in any danger because Mr. Sakamoto's there and he's not going to let anyone get hurt. They're all competent in their own right. So it's really just an action comedy without really the depth looking into characters and character dynamics that I want and that I'm looking for. So a little bit more detail of the arcs. Like I said, we are introduced to Shin? Yeah, Shin. I think I like that he has more or less joined the family and he's working for the convenience store. And the convenience store aspect, if that had been played into more, I think it would have worked for me. Because I like that when, like, assassins come and they're at that location, like, he'll fight them off with a cough drop. Or later on, like, there's a coupon or an elastic band. That's, like, all he needs to take somebody down. But I also like Shin, like, using his psychic powers to help people in the store find what they're looking for. And I really wish we just spent more time in, like, start off small in the convenience store, and like we get like a little montage of him being a jack of all trades, helping people out in the community. And I think that really should have been a longer arc. We should just stay at the convenience store for a little longer, set up this location, this dynamic, the home, really center on the home. Instead, after Shin joins the family and betrays the assassins who hired him to kill Mr. Sakamoto and all that's happened, we go off to the amusement park, and then there's the assassin group arc, and then there's the lab arc, like, and then there's the mall. It's like we're not at the convenience store, we're not at the home. And the center core themes of this revolving around family, I feel that location would have worked a lot better for me. So we introduce another character, Lou. She's from a triad mercenary kind of family. And trained martial artist. People are trying to kill her to get her family treasure. They've already killed her entire family. So Mr. Sakamoto and Shin helps her out and protects her. Sees the value she has in protecting her own treasure, which not all of it is actual treasure. Most of it just family sentimental stuff that she needs to protect. And understanding that connection to family, she, of course, joins the family working at the convenience store. And there's a little bit of animosity back and forth as she's not the greatest employee. But again, we're not at the convenience store for long enough for that dynamic to really be shown there. Also, my parents own a convenience store. Like, we could have had like an entire arc or sections where a random customer comes in asking, hey, do you sell this? Do you have this weird item? And it's like, no, I don't have that in stock, but I'll get it for you. And then you have to go and find said item. That's like a regular part of having a convenience store. It's making sure you have what the community needs. So when one person comes in to ask for it, A, you got to find it for that person, and B, then you got to have it in stock for the future if they ever need it again. So like that could have been added in as well. Running jokes, also the humor is just not landing for me. The main one being Shin reading normally Mr. Sakamoto's mind as he's thinking of killing someone, usually Shin. And he's like, why are you thinking of killing me? He's like, because you never listen. And again, half of this is just a one-sided conversation, sort of. No one else can hear it because Mr. Sakamoto is just thinking it. And Shin is responding to it, and everyone else is just acting like, yeah, that's normal, that's fine. They're just having a private conversation. I wish he talked more. I did enjoy the amusement park for the action scenes, again, because like it would take place on a roller coaster ride. It would be on a event that's going on. It's down beneath the circus in the behind the scenes stuff. Like the environment was really cool. The guy with the poison was pretty cool, and then you got a new group of assassins coming in, one who's just named Boiled, and he's very hard-boiled. But if I was not a One Piece fan, I would not like this character. He does not have a satisfying backstory to make me care about him, as just, I think I'm pretty aloof and really cool because of that. You're also aloof and really cool, so I think we should be friends. Oh, you don't know I exist. Okay, that's not cool. I don't know. The environment was good. Action is beautiful. Like, they end up in a Ferris wheel at one point, and that's really cool. But all I'm enjoying about this is the artwork. The character dynamics, not so much. Again, in the amusement park, I like the idea of Shin and Lu doing everything possible to keep the family safe so they can have a fun day. And not worry about the assassins coming after them, but Mr. Sakamoto, of course, is very stressed. He doesn't want his family to know that a bounty has been put on his head and there's going to be even more people coming after them. But then, of course, the family finds out that there's a bounty on their head, and the wife's just like, go take care of that. So they go to the movie store to get information. It's very much a John Wick vibe right there. Kind of ridiculous place to get information from in a weird manner. But then they go to find the assassins, and oh, they're all already dead, and the Order is involved, and there's an assassin hunting assassins that was around the same time as Mr. Sakamoto's bounty showed up, so that's going to come into play. Big bloody X on the wall. Who's doing this? But none of that really matters, because we get introduced to a sniper. What's his name? Because I love him. Hisuke? Something like that? Love him. Angel. Did nothing wrong in his entire life. He's an assassin, but he got fired from his organization because all he is a sniper. He doesn't have any other assassin skills. So when he's on a team, what, you have no knife skills. You got no infiltration skills. Like, how are you going to be a competent assassin if all you are is a sniper? As if that is not a useful tool. So he does not have very much self-esteem. I love this man. He's starving on the street. So now he's gone after Mr. Sakamoto to collect the bounty, so him and his pet parrots can, like, go for sushi and, like, not be sleeping on the streets. But, of course, he falls into the family. They become friends after entering a paintball tournament, and other assassins coming after them, and there's ricocheting bullets. It's really cool. I love him. He does not join the staff officially, but I'm sure he will in the future, but he's dropping by from time to time. I do love him. But then the last arc I read, and pretty much the reason I'm done with this series, is the most ham-fisted, preachy way of trying to force character work and character development on Shin that I is so heavy-handed. It's all, oh, this character can read minds, and no one feels comfortable around him. They can't have a private thought with him around, so they try to leave and be away from him, and he feels isolated and sad from this power. But again, the dialogue is so heavy-handed, it is frustrating. So the lab that gave him those powers end up accidentally kidnapping Lu because she was wearing his apron with his name tag on it, so they thought it was him. And then him and Mr. Sakamoto have to go and save her from the lab, which turns out been taken over by yet another group of assassins. The Order is involved. There's a guy with a deer head. They have to fight a dinosaur. The Order is really cool with really cool powers and designs and strengths. Love them, design-wise. Hisuke shows up as well. MVP. Love him so very much. And yeah, then you get some resolution for the idea of the mind reading power really being helpful, both in fighting, and he uses it to help people, and he doesn't feel isolated. He's found his family who love him and don't mind this mind reading power. Really heavy-handed. So overall, humor does not land for me. The art is gorgeous. The action is fantastic. Did I mention the art is gorgeous? 'Cause it is. But character dynamics and character work and dialogue, not what I'm getting that I want from this series. So if anyone can recommend me a series with similar vibes of Spy Family, Buddy Daddies, or Mr. Villain's Day Off, where you have a premise of just character work, slice of life, but oh, they're also assassins, or oh, they're planning on world domination, or oh, they're hitmen and they've kidnapped a child. Like it's an end, but it's really a slice of life, not just full action comedy. The slice of life part is the main focus. That's what I'm looking for to kind of complement the other series that I am caught up with. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.